Hey guys! Welcome back to today's episode. Shit, ang pangit ko. For today's episode, we are going to be talking about my teacher, Sir Danton Remoto. I am going to be doing the wired autocomplete interview or the Google Most Search questions. So, ito siya. Siyempre, alam ko na kung ano yung nilagay ko dito, di ba? Huwag na tayo magbagal-bagal pa. First is, who is Danton Remoto? Danton Remoto's full name is Danton or Remoto. His birthday is March 25, 1963. He was born in Base Air Base in Florida Blanca in Pampanga Province. His father's name is Francisco Sr. His mother's name is Lilia Relato. His father was a soldier rather, and his mother was a former music teacher. Doon pa lang, actually, makikita mo na kung ano yung influence ng kanyang parents sa kanyang teaching career. But most people would probably say that Sir Danton is a writer, essayist, reporter, editor, columnist, professor. Hindi lang sa Pilipinas, sa ibang bansa rin. So yun lang naman. How is the childhood? Oh my gosh. Sige, nakikita niyo kung gano'ng kapangat yung gawa ko. Okay, sige, wala na. How is the childhood of Danton Remoto? So basically, I did interview him like a few weeks back. And nakakalimutan niya actually sagutin yung email ko. Tagal niya bago sagutin yung email ko. And to be honest with you, hindi niya talaga sinagot yung email ko. He scheduled an interview, it was around 12 a.m. and it lasted for about 2 a.m. in the morning. Anyways, childhood niya, he was actually the firstborn in the family. Because he was the firstborn in the family, he was really expected to take care of his parents and take care of his family, his whole family. His father would always say na alagaan mo yung kapatid mo because his youngest sister has Down syndrome. Sinabi niya rin sa akin na he made me see it as a Filipino. Filipinos are family-oriented, which dun yung nakuha actually pagiging family-oriented niya. He loves reading books, especially from Penguin books. And eventually, later on, anyways, yun nga. What is the first prize Danton Remoto received? He received it in 1979. It was the ASEAN Prize for Essay Writing. He was a first recipient of that. He got it when he was only 15 years old. Sobrang malaking impact yun because during that time, he was an Ateneo scholar. Yung scholarship niya sa Ateneo, it was just yung tuition alone. But when he won that ASEAN Prize, Ateneo gave him a full-blown scholarship, and that means kasama na yung books, yung tuition, and kasama na rin yung monthly allowance niya. Doon lang naman actually nag-start lang, 1979. And ang daming throughout these years, awards ni Sir Danton. I could list it dito. Dito ko ililist. Sobrang dami. I could run all day na para ikwento sa inyo. But I can't because of the time limit. So 4 years after, 1983, educated in Ateneo de Manila University. He was studying their Bachelor of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies. In his 4th year, he was named Editor-in-Chief in Ateneo's literary journal called Height. During that year as well, he was also named as Writer of the Year in Ateneo. Writer of the Year ka lang naman sa Ateneo, di ba? Malit na bagay. And then many years passed, 3 years later, in 1986. To take note, the 1986 is a very important year in our Philippine history. For that was the year wherein natapos yung Marcos regime. Sir Danton was actually an activist during that time. And based din sa essay na binigay niya sa akin, which was a lot of files. Isa sa mga essay niya na binigay is titled Love of Country. And he said there that kung kailan napatalsik si Marcos, that was the week wherein he received a letter from a university in an American Midwest. Binibigyan siya ng full scholarship sa ibang bansa for 2 years. Maliit na bagay. He didn't accept it. And nagulat din ako dun kasi scholarship yun, pero hindi niya tinanggap. He stayed because to leave meant to leave family, to leave his country. He wasn't going to do that. Hindi pa ready if yung bansa natin ganun ang pinagdadaanan, and then he would leave his family with that kind of setup in the Philippines. Sobrang hirap nun. Yun nga, sayang talaga. Hindi naman doon natitigil si Sir Danton, di ba? Kasi then lumipas mga ilang years later, awards na naman, ganyan. And then in 1989, he was actually contacted by the British Council wherein he was given another full scholarship. Binibigyan siya actually ng graduate school scholarship to study in United Kingdom. Ayun nga, pinag-iisipan niya if tatanggapin niya. Pero actually, ang ginawa niya, tinanggap niya yun. The British Council actually sent out papers everywhere to different schools, big schools, para i-apply si Sir Danton. Ang dami ng like puno na schools during that time, dun sinasend out yung papers. But surprisingly, he got into Stirling University sa Scotland lang naman, di ba? Maliit na bansa. Then over the years, like, marami naman siya nakuha ang awards, ganyan. Successful siya in short. And then in his other essay, entitled White Heat of Words, he said there na after taking his postgraduate studies, he came back to the Philippines. And pagbalik niya ng Pilipinas, he taught at the Ateneo Department of English. During that time, doon niya naging student si Sir Larry. Moreover, is that Anvil Publishing, which kilalang publishing house dito sa Philippines, pinublish yung book of poems niya titled Skin, Voices, Faces, and it is compilation of poems written in English and Filipino. So yun, nakakatuwa lang na kahit sa Pilipinas, he still continues to thrive. Ilang years ulit yung lumipas, awards, ganyan. And then in 2000, dito na naman like nag-peak yung him being a family-oriented person. He was given like job offers, like ang daming job offers. He didn't apply. He was just being offered and offered. So sobrang galing. Kasi ino-offeran lang siya ng job and like parang hindi niya matatanggap. Alam mo yun, parang hindi niya natatanggap. Pero yun nga, by that time, pinag-iisipan niya. Luckily, he did. He was given by Rutgers University a Fulbright scholarship. Tinanong actually sa kanya, bakit 1 year lang? 1 year lang kasi tinanggap niya na scholarship. And then he said na like he didn't really wanted to stay there for like too long kasi he has to come back to the Philippines because he has to take care of his parents and his sister. So he told me that it was one of the setbacks, though he didn't regret really, pero it was a setback. He had lost years na ang dami niyang, he can do so much more. So tinanggap naman niya yun sa Rutgers University, and then mag-iisang taon pa lang, the fateful 9/11 happened in 2001. And sobrang devastating nun around the world, especially in America. Sinabi ng Rutgers University na kailangan nilang umuwi. And Sir Danton actually didn't really need to leave. Hindi naman siya TNT. Kompleto naman yung papeles niya doon. He left because he wanted to. Bumalik siya sa Pilipinas and unfortunately, to his surprise, nalaman niya both of his parents were ill. Hindi sinabi ng parents niya sa kanya na may sakit sila. Buti na lang pala, umuwi siya because he wouldn't know what would happen to them if he didn't come back to the Philippines. And then, in 2003, Sir Danton actually founded the Ladlad Party List, an LGBT party, political party here in the Philippines. Party's official motto is bukas isip, bukas puso, open mind, open heart. So sinasabi niya rin sa akin na it was a major setback, not Ladlad itself, the political party, but being in a political circle. He pulled focus from his writing. And then in 2009 was probably the saddest year for him. Both of his parents died that year. His father died in October 2009, and while his mother died on November 2009. So after his parents' death was actually just the time for him to accept the job offers given to him and offered to him. Then in 2011, naging producer siya sa Action TV. He hosted his own radio station called Remoto Control. It's still running right now if you want to check it. He's also a host in a daily show called Tayuan at Panindigan. Ang dami niyang ginawa. In 2017, naging head of school siya. Both July 2017 and July 2020, he was the head of school and professor in English in the University of Nottingham in Malaysia. Surreal nun for him because getting into a British school is very, very hard. Even though that you have PhD, reputation and all, hindi pa rin yun like enough for you to qualify. Kinuha siya. Hindi siya like nag-apply, like kinuha lang siya. Ang haba ng kwento ko, no? Tinanong ko lang naman kung ano yung first prize. So, what are the fun facts about Danton Remoto? Kung alam niyo yung music video ni Glock 9 na Serena, he was actually in that music video. And it also included his friend, Boya Bunda. Okay. What is Danton Remoto doing right now? He is working in San Beda University as our teacher in the Department of Languages and Literature. And he is also working part-time in FEU. Actually, sabi niya kinukuha daw siya ng FEU. Like, full-time. Sir Danton has written a book called River Run, now sold out. Meron pa rin talaga siya actually sa Shopee and sa Lazada, so you can buy it. It is actually published by Penguin Books. To be honest with you, I actually asked him, ano ba yung greatest achievement mo, sir? Sa daming achievements niya, this, like yung River Run. Because during his childhood, binabasa lang niya yung mga penguin books, and to be able to have a book published by that same company nung binabasa niya ng bata siya. Take note, Penguin Publishing is the largest publishing company in the world, like around the world. Yun naman yung ginagawa niya. He's actually writing a sequel to that book. Yun, so abangan nyo na lang. Ayaw sabihin sa akin title kasi nga may contract siya. But he told me the story, pero bawal din sabihin. Who is Danton Remoto's boyfriend? His name is Jameson, or Jason. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Magpa 5 years na sila. Nag-retire daw siya. Naghanap siya actually ng bahay sa Palawan, ng lupa. Gusto niya like magstay sa Palawan, and is actually inviting us. If ever man like pagtanda natin, gano'n, and we wanted to meet up with him, like nandun lang daw siya, kasama daw ng jowa niya. So, nakakatuwa kasi ano na sila, like almost 5 years na sila and going strong. And sobrang nakakatuwa because wala nakakatuwa. I mean, may jowa siya di ba? Sana all. What is Danton Remoto's message to his students? He told me that study hard. Actually, iniisip ko nga, parang sabi ko na maganda yung sasabihin ni Sir. And maganda naman actually sinabi ni Sir. Nakakatawa lang kasi I expected. Mag-aral na mabuti because you're doing this for you. Ginagawa niyo ito para sa sarili niyo. And so that you can study abroad. You can study and live your life the way you wanted it to be. And whatever dreams you have, you are going to achieve it. When I read him, isa din sa essay niya, which is, pinaka-paborito ko, is entitled A Teacher's Tales. He told me, like, ang dami na palang lumipas. For the past 30 years of his life, parang lumipad lang yung pagtuturo niya. Maybe that's because he loves teaching. He was just a newbie teacher before. He lived in an apartment in Project 4 in Quezon City, rushing to take the jeepney in the street corner. Tapos, magiging head of school siya. Like, it's so inspirational. Sobrang inspirational. Hindi ba na ako nagtataka kung bakit si Sir Larry is understanding. I know that he learned it from him some way. So inspiring. Anyways, so I hope you like. That is Sir Danton in a nutshell. In a nutshell, maliit na bagay na yung mga achievements niya. Sobrang liit lang. Like, ganyan na kaliit yung achievements niya. And I felt very, very lucky to be in his presence. To be, kahit virtually lang, to interview him, see him smile. It was worth noting. Probably a memoir that I would write someday. I hope you guys like this video. Follow, like, and subscribe. Nandito na rin actually yung mga kung saan yung mahahanap yung mga handles ni Sir Danton. So, thank you so much for watching. Bye!